Have you ever noticed that one person who walks into a meeting or a party and without raising their voice, everyone just listens? They don't beg for attention, they don't argue, they suggest an idea, and 5 minutes later, it's the group's new plan. You might think they're just born with it, but they aren't. They are silent architects. They understand a fundamental truth that most people spend their whole lives ignoring. Influence isn't about what you tell people, it's about the environment you build around them. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share 10 psychological ways to influence people and get them to say yes without ever feeling manipulated. We're moving past the used car salesman tactics and looking at the deep tier habits of the most persuasive people on Earth. If you stay until the end, I'm going to reveal the golden question, a simple 4-word phrase that can flip a no into a yes in almost any negotiation. If you've ever felt ignored, overlooked, or frustrated because you couldn't get your point across, this video is for you. 1. The law of strategic vulnerability. Most people think that to influence others, you have to be perfect. Psychology says the opposite. We are influenced by people we trust, and we trust people who are real. By admitting a small, irrelevant mistake or a minor clumsiness, you trigger the Pratfall Effect. It makes you more likable and less threatening. Influence begins the moment the other person feels safe enough to drop their guard. 2. The identity translation. Stop talking about what you want. Start talking about who they are. If you want a coworker to help with a project, don't tell them it will help the company. Tell them, I'm asking you because you're the most detail-oriented person I know. You aren't just giving them a task, you're giving them a reputation to uphold. People will work harder to protect their identity than they ever will to hit a corporate KPI. 3. The silence gap. The most powerful tool in a conversation isn't a clever comeback, it's a 3-second pause. When you ask for something or when someone gives you an objection, wait. Most people are terrified of silence and will fill it by compromising or giving you more information than they intended. Silence shows you are comfortable with your own value. The door in the face technique. This is a classic. If you want a medium-sized yes, start by asking for a ridiculously large no. When you scale back your request to what you actually wanted, the other person perceives it as a concession. Their brain triggers a need for reciprocity. They feel like they owe you a yes because you were kind enough to lower your demands. The paradox of choice. If you give someone too many options, they'll choose none. Analysis paralysis. But if you give them no choice, they'll rebel to protect their autonomy. The architect gives 2 paths. Do you want to finish the draft by Thursday morning, or would Friday afternoon work better for your schedule? Either way, the draft is getting done. You've given them the gift of control, and they've given you the result. The we framework. One of the fastest ways to influence a group is to switch from I/you language to we language. How are we going to solve this? Or what's our next move? This triggers an ancient tribal instinct. It moves the conversation from a confrontation to a collaboration. Suddenly, it's not them against your idea, it's all of you against the problem. Labeling the resistance. When you feel someone pulling away, don't ignore it, name it. It seems like you're worried about the timeline. This is called affective labeling. It de-escalates the emotional centers of their brain. Once the fear is named, it loses its power, and you can move back into logical cooperation. The validation vacuum. Everyone is starving to be noticed. If you can describe a person's hard work back to them, specifically and genuinely, you create a vacuum of gratitude. They will naturally want to fill that vacuum by being helpful to you. It's not flattery, it's the power of being seen. Social proof, the quiet version. People don't want to be the first to try something, but they hate being the last. Instead of saying, "You should do this," say, "I've noticed that most people in your position find this incredibly helpful." You aren't pushing them, you're inviting them to join the in-group. The because trigger. A famous Harvard study found that just using the word because increases compliance by over 30%, even if the reason that follows is weak. Our brains are hardwired to look for cause and effect. "Can I jump ahead of you because I'm in a rush?" works significantly better than just, "Can I jump ahead of you?" Always give them a because. I promised you the golden question. Here it is. What would it take? When someone says no, don't argue. Ask, what would it take for this to be a yes for you? This forces them to give you the blueprint for their own persuasion. They stop being your opponent and start being your consultant. Which of these 10 ways are you going to use tomorrow? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to become an architect of your own life. I'll see you in the next one.